you think I wish I knew before I hit the road? A couple weeks ago I did a poll and I gave a few video topics for you guys to vote on, and this was the second most requested video. What are 5 things I wish I knew before I hit the road? Can you guess what any of them might be? Stay tuned. I'm going to count down to the single biggest thing I wish I knew, so I'm going to go backwards. What do you think my biggest thing is I wish I knew before I hit the road? What do you think it is? What are your guesses? Stay tuned and I'll let you know.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to mind your own.
Okay, I have 5 things I wish I knew before I hit the road. I'm in my 7th year of full-time RV living, so there's been a lot of lessons learned, a lot of challenges and things like that. So these are the things that you might want to think about before you hit the road, and I'm going to count down to the biggest thing I wish I knew. But first, let me get the bugs off me. But first, do me a favor, make sure you're still subscribed to my channel, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people for some strange reason. And also, it would really help me out if you could watch all the way through to the end without fast forwarding. And that really helps. So thank you so much. All right, so number 5 on my list of things I wish I knew before I hit the road is how easy it is to find services. I remember heading out on the road and I was stressed about where I was going to dump my tanks, where I was going to get water, even where I was going to boondock. And it's easier than ever to get the services you need as a full-time RVer. And there are a ton of apps out there these days to help you find them. 7 years ago almost, there were a few, but not as many as there are today. And I've done videos about the apps that I use, so I think the playlist is probably your best bet, but I'm going to put in the video description a list of videos that you might also enjoy related to the topics here. But finding propane is super easy. Some states are a little harder than others, but it's still pretty easy. Dump stations are easy, water is easy, and I really stressed about these things when I first started. So I wish I knew how easy it was, especially now, 7 years later, since RV life has exploded and there are apps for everything. So that's number 5. The 4th thing I wish I knew before I started my RV life were how important these puppies were gonna be. My all-terrain tires, I gotta tell you, this is the best decision one of the best decisions I ever made about my RV life. Just yesterday, I was driving through a town looking for a park, and GPS took me on a crazy muddy dirt road, and I mean, even with all-terrain tires, I was slipping and sliding all over the place, but without them, I can't tell you how many times I would have been stuck. So I have KO2s in the back and Michelin's in the front, and I'll put, again, video in the description if you want to learn more about those and why I chose those. But these all-terrain tires have saved me from being stuck so many times. So that's the 4th thing I wish I knew before I started my RV life, that you can put all-terrain tires on a Class C RV. The 3rd thing I wish I knew before I started my RV life is that it's okay to pivot. I had in my mind, and I talked about this a little bit in last week's video about my regrets about RV life, again, video description, you know, I had in my mind what my RV life would look like, and still, even now, I have in my mind what my RV life looks like. But I also know what I'm most comfortable with and things like that. But it's really important to know that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change your travel plans last minute. It's okay to stay in a campground last minute instead of boondocking. It's okay to decide if you're going to do another cross-country trip that you're going to stay in campgrounds this time instead of boondocking, which I'm doing because it's easier. So it's really important to just remember that it's okay to be flexible in everything, you know, that I had it in my mind that I was flexible because it didn't matter where I boondocked. But being flexible also means, okay, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to find boondocking. I'm going to stay in a campground, knowing that that means that it might be noisy, I might be around other people, but I really wish I knew before I started, or even my first couple of years, that it's okay to kind of change my frame of reference about my life and myself, and just being a little more flexible, and it's okay to pivot. So that's the third thing I wish I knew. The second thing I wish I knew before I started my RV life, to help give me more peace of mind and help me relax a little bit, is that I'm gonna beat up my RV. Doing RV life the way I do it, and I still get so much criticism for beating up my RV. Oh, it makes me so sad that you're beating up your new RV, going on roads you shouldn't be going on. You know, and I'm gonna admit, every time I got a new dent on my RV, and it hurts for a few minutes because we as Americans are so tied to stuff. I saw a shirt recently, experience over things, and that's my philosophy on life. You know what? I'm okay with beating up my RV because look at the places I get to go. It's not about things. It's not about making my RV look nice. It's not about my resale value because I don't plan on selling it. And even if I do, I know that it's going to be beat up. My whole life is about experiencing things, experiencing things that a lot of people don't get to experience, and therefore that's why I have a successful channel, because I do things that the average person isn't gonna do. And I wish I had kind of realized in the beginning that that means there's gonna be bumps and bruises and scrapes along the way. And it's okay. It's okay if my RV looks a little beat up, junky, as some people like to say. Because to me, my beat up RV represents all the cool places I got to go. You know, you don't get to experience the adventures, the beautiful places, the quiet, the solitude, the adrenaline rush roads by playing it safe, by keeping a beautiful, pristine, intact RV. I would much rather have the experiences that I've had than a pristine, beautiful, intact RV. That's where my priorities are at right now. But I do wish in the beginning I just was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna beat up my RV. I'm gonna get body damage. I'm gonna get stuck. You know, trim's gonna fall off. What did I say? Shit's just, you bump into things and shit just falls off. You know, that even my nice newer RV is gonna be held together with the Turn-A-Bond tape and duct tape sometimes, and that's okay. Rather than still holding on to the American materialism of things must look a certain way. And you know, I mean, I'm a product of my environment. I still hold on to that. I still have that a little bit. But I wish I had just known in the beginning, you know what, you're gonna bump into things. Your RV is gonna get bumped and scraped and bruised, and that's okay. It's just, remember, it's about the experience, not about how we look getting there. There's a quote. What's the quote about diving into your grave all out of breath and bumped and bruised and scraped? That's gonna be me and my RV. All right, and that finally brings me to number one. The biggest thing I wish I knew before I started my RV life, and I think it's gonna help you too. You're gonna break down. You're gonna get stuck. Your transmission's gonna blow. You're gonna get stranded on the side of the highway with a flat tire and you can't get to your spare. Something is going to happen at some point. It's not if you break down, it's when you're gonna break down. If you drive as many miles, if you live in a mobile residential vehicle like I do, you're gonna break down. Not if, but when. And as soon as you realize that, it's hopefully gonna take some of the stress and the pressure away from, oh my gosh, what if I break down? Just have a plan, have good roadside assistance, make sure you know, okay, if I break down, what am I gonna do? Just have a plan. That's all you can do, because you're gonna break down. Just don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Don't say, oh my gosh, what happens if I go down that road and I break down? Just have a plan so that when you do break down, you're gonna be able to get out of it and you're gonna be able to live through it. So that's the biggest thing I wish I knew, because there was a lot of stress driving my first RV, Matilda, which was a lemon. There was a constant stress about, is it gonna break down? Am I gonna, you know, end up stranded on the side of the road, or out in the woods, or out in the desert? And yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, I did. But the bottom line is, and I like to show this through my videos, no matter what the universe has thrown at me, I have survived. I have been able to get out of the situation. It may not have always been pretty or painless or fun, but you live through it. You get through it as long as you have a plan and you have the right tools. So again, videos about my roadside assistance and everything in the video description. Thank you so much. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please let me know. Just say it was helpful in the comments below. And if you've been on the road a while, what are some of the things you wish you knew before you hit the road? Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. I will see you soon. Let's go see Sadie. Sadie! Hi! What are you doing? You can't just go running around.